Why
are you laughing?
Fuck you! I know where you're fucking taking this.
Where?
Okay, but like they shouldn't still be racist now.
This was her literal reaction. It was, oh, really? Oh.
Oh.
What is it? 3, 2, 1. That was good.
That was kind of good.
pretty
Yeah.
That was really good. What the fuck?
Whoa, it's more in sync
Hey.
now.
Right.
Pretty sick.
Bye, bye, bye. Okay.
Bye. Haha. That's a pretty good joke.
That was an in-sync joke.
Ha.
Okay, are we ready?
Yeah.
What up, Goosh fam? It's your boy, Whiteboy69, back again for the 3rd episode of No One's Gonna Listen. With me, of course, are my classic co-hosts. We got our boy, whatever the fuck Ralph's name was last week.
I forget. I had like 5,000.
And, of course, Brandon Ramirez.
Yeah.
Yay.
Let's jump right into it after we introduce ourselves.
wait.
Oh, fucking no.
I'm trying to get Ralph's name from last week.
He had like 6. He had like Singaporean
I think I
Sergeant.
sent it to you guys.
He had
Yeah,
Singaporean Sergeant.
yeah, you did.
Young
I'm
Rubber.
just trying to get it. Where the fuck? Oh no, there's just a bunch of pictures of Ryan, and then the Ralph picture from the new vlog. Check it out.
Oh yeah, that's
Here's
right.
a
Yeah.
second.
Okay, wait.
Edited by me.
I was filming today, and I took a break while filming that because I was like, I was with like our buddy Owen, and I was like, dude, I haven't seen the vlog yet, and we dude, we were like in tears when Ralph started like auto-tuning his voice as he would fucking narrate, like, hey guys. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Fucking
All thanks to an
I love
iPhone now.
Ralph.
dude.
He's so nice.
And then he blurs your entire house.
I had to.
That's it's literally been
Have to keep
shown
consistent.
multiple times.
Dude, that was actually the best vlog we've ever done. It was like, we should just get Ralph to edit all our vlogs.
Yeah, no, straight up.
Thanks, guys.
That's
Glad you
pretty
liked
great.
it.
Okay, we need to introduce ourselves because we haven't introduced ourselves.
Yeah, who are you?
Alright.
I'm Ryan. I'm hosting today.
It's your boy Ralph. Not gonna repeat my name from last week. You already know. You already know how it goes.
It's Chris. Hey.
Hey.
Yeah. Alright.
All right,
Yeah.
we got a pretty exciting show for y'all this week.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, as always, we're gonna open up with the Lord's Prayer.
I
Oh, of
I thought
course,
you were
my
about to say the
favorite part.
comments, and I was gonna get so excited.
Oh shit!
You know
I
what?
forgot
You're
about
right.
that.
We should just do the comments instead of going to church. All right, so we had 4 comments on last week's episode.
Whoa, dude, that's
Ooh.
one more.
Dude, that is an increase of, I don't know what the percent that is.
Some great interactions there.
That is some great interactions, and we had some pretty nice comments on there this week. So we're gonna start out. Chris is gonna put the comments in the top corner as we usually do,
Yep.
and we're gonna be starting with our good friend Jessica, who commented, "Wow, mentions Madagascar but doesn't bring up the best character. Hashtag justice for Moto Moto."
I like him.
Moto likes
I
you.
like
Yo,
Chochi.
dude, I fucking love that meme so much. That guy's thick as fuck. Oh my god.
Did you see there was a petition going around that was like, give Moto Moto his own Netflix series?
Actually, I can see that.
Dude, what would that be?
Will I Am.
What would that be?
Moto
Just like-
Moto was Will I Am?
Yeah, that's Will I Am.
Oh fuck. That's even better.
Can you imagine just like Will I Am reading that script and being like, "Oh, dude, I'm a thick ass fucking hippo, dude."
Dude, he did the soundtrack for that movie too.
A lot of people
Wow.
are on the soundtrack of that movie.
Didn't he did it with Hans Zimmer? Will I Am collab with Hans Zimmer.
Well, no, but then he also didn't Hans Zimmer also collab with fucking Pharrell for Amazing
for
Spider-Man
Amazing
2.
Spider-Man 2,
Jeez.
gang.
Oh my god.
Shout out to
great.
Jessica.
To be completely honest, when we were making that Madagascar comment, I was gonna bring up Moto Moto, but I didn't want to make it super memey, and I kind of regret it now that
Yeah, you should've done
one
it.
of our biggest fans isn't happy about it. Also, thank you, Jessica, for posting on your Instagram story. She
oh,
posted
yeah.
a picture of us
What did she
of
post?
watching. The
Watching
show
No One's
last
Gonna
week.
Listen.
So
She did?
yeah.
What?
She posted it on her
Wow.
Instagram story.
So,
it was
thank
pretty
you-
great.
Thank you,
Yeah.
famous radio host Jessica, for coming
We're
on our.
flattered.
He'll listen to a radio show.
She's
if
getting
you're
her
in
own
Canada.
fucking show.
Oh, yeah,
man,
she's getting
in
her
the
show,
summer.
too.
Congrats, Jess.
Congrats.
Is she getting her own show?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
gonna.
Good for her, man.
Yo, maybe we can be guests on the show.
Dude,
on her
honestly,
show.
that'd be.
That'd
Although,
be wild.
with all seriousness, though, we have said that we're gonna try to get Jessica on the podcast at some point.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah,
excited
we
to
need
do
her
that.
expertise.
Once we get these special guests on, man, it's gonna be lit.
I think so far we've like completely coordinated. I think 1 or 2, 100%.
Yeah.
I've dated our first one, as like I
Really?
Think, well, no, I've said like we're aiming for first week of May for our.
Oh, I thought you said you dated our first
No,
guest.
no, dude. Despite what TMZ would have you know, me and Ethan never had any sort of relationship. Although yes, seeing as I just brought that up, we're aiming to have Ethan on, Mr. Zucan, our #1 actor, first week of May. Because at that point, and that'll probably be one of our first all in Chris's house shows, because I'm
Pretty
gonna be
great.
I'm gonna be back home, so that's gonna be really fun.
Yeah.
So our
We
next
won't have to be
comment,
separated.
damn dude, it's gonna be great to be back. All right, so our next comment is one from a special friend. Sam Kitakella says.
No way, Sam commented?
Sam says,
That's that guy.
I'm really worried I'm going to show up in one of these problematic stories, LMAO. Sam, I'm also worried you're going to show up in one of those problematic
Highly
stories.
probable.
It's very probable.
I feel like it's likely.
All right, give it 1 or 2 weeks. Sam, we love you. We have our first returning commenter.
Ooh.
Our friend Austin Paveo
Yeah.
wrote, James Gunn needs to find Drax before he gets buried by Triple H at WrestleMania 35 this Sunday, April 7th, only on the WWE Network. As a person who can't afford to feed himself, I can't afford to buy pay-per-view
WrestleMania.
for
WWE.
WWE.
I don't get the reference. I'm sorry.
Dave Bautista was a refer for WWE.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Yeah,
I know
Filipino pride, let's go.
You said that last episode, bro.
Every
Did
time
I say that?
Yeah.
I think he said it the first episode too. I think we brought it up or something.
I have to say it
Just
like
Dave
every
Bautista,
single time.
like every single time, like Filipino pride.
I think it's like half, but we'll claim him. It's okay. Yeah. You got
We
him.
claim everyone. We claim everyone who's like a quarter.
Bruno Mars, man.
Brendan Ramirez.
Yeah.
And honestly, personally, my favorite comment this week was from our good friend Mariel, who commented, "My new favorite podcast."
Thank you.
That was very nice. Thank you, Mariel. Shout out to you.
Pizza time. I think Mariel deserves a special shout out because Mariel has put up with the most
Bullshit.
yeah. So Mariel was one of the main characters in From Now On, rest in peace.
Yep.
And
Rest in peace.
as a result, Mariel was stuck with the three of us and Ethan for prolonged periods of time.
Yeah.
Early in the morning.
Early
too.
in the morning,
Like
late
5
at night.
a.m.
That was insane. Now that I think about it.
Whenever someone
Bro,
tells
we
me,
really met up at 5 a.m.
Yeah. Well, no, bro. We all slept over except Mariel. Mariel just came over. At
Yeah.
5.
and then
Props to her.
Marianne knocked on the door or she rang the doorbell when we specifically said walk in without ringing the doorbell. And like it's like 4 a.m, and we just suddenly hear like, and we're like, and then Chris and I like legit screamed, and like that was fun, man. And that was the day that like I remember we all passed out for like a prolonged
I
amount of
legit thought
time.
I was just gonna pull an all-nighter at that point, and then.
Dude, back then, going till 4 a.m, I was like, dude, I can't believe I'm going out to sleep for this long. And then now I just don't sleep for like 3 days, and I'm like, oh, I'm fine.
Were we like playing GTA until like 3 a.m. or something?
Yeah.
Or that was like Ethan, solely him?
We were playing, the three of us were playing GTA till 3 a.m. Then you fell asleep, and it was me and Ethan playing GTA till 4 a.m. And then he passed out, it was just me. And I was just like, forget it, and I just turned the TV off. And then I said, I'm going to get some work done, and this is literally what happened. Okay, I'm going to get my laptop. I can close my eyes for like 30. I was out, dude.
I love that cut, just like...
And then I remember, so for context, we had to shoot a sunset scene. Sorry, a sunrise scene.
Sunrise.
And in order to get the sunrise is in the summer at around 6:30-ish, a little later than that.
Maybe earlier.
Was
like
it?
6:30, 6ish.
I think we were aiming for like pretty close to 7, but we started at 5 so we can gather all our equipment and set the shots up and shit. But it was a really nice shot. We got like no sleep.
Oh, I remember like later on that day, like I think we were either done filming or like done filming for like a couple hours, and I just passed out.
Didn't your family
Took a fat nap.
from like the U.S. visit
Oh yeah.
or something, and they were all in the dining room, and they were like, "We want to meet Chris. We want to meet Chris." And like your mom like dragged you into the dining room, and like they must have been so confused that like there were like 7 people passed out on your couch. Then I have a vivid memory of that night. Your parents went to like a casino or something. They went up to like Niagara.
Oh yeah, and they just didn't come home.
They just didn't come home.
Those wild kids.
Until like I remember waking up at like 5, like close to 5 a.m., maybe 4:30, with the door opening and just like silhouetted against the moonlight is your fucking dad.
Just like fucking sleepwalking.
He's like standing there and he does his thing where he just goes, and then he fucking like walks off, and I was like, I thought like, the house was getting broken into and shit. And then I don't know, man, but poor Mariel had to stick it out with us for
Shout out
so
to
much.
She's only been in from now on.
Right, and I think she's had more like screen time or like BTS, like behind the scenes like time than probably most other people have, because she had a very substantial role. She did an excellent job with it.
Yeah, really good.
Fortunately, if you didn't hear, from now on it's fucking dead. So
Or Relapse 2 is coming back. So.
a Ralph Ramos joint.
Yes, sir. Oh, a joint. Ah, I see what you did there.
That's a Spike Lee.
Spike Lee. Ah.
Do the right thing, Ralph.
Dude, still no wait, dude. What are you talking about? That's not the best Spike Lee joint. The best Spike Lee joint is NBA 2K16 Career Mode.
Oh, didn't you know about that? What?
He
directed that. Oh my god.
Recap scenes. I remember being like 15, 16 when that shit came out and being in like an EB Games and seeing that being like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was the worst gimmicky shit ever. But...
And like he's in like the opening like cinematic. That's like, hey guys, welcome out to NBA 2K.
Is it like a video game rendered version of Spike Lee?
Yeah, it's like a mocap.
Dude, it's the funny. I'm gonna show it to you later. It's literally like it opens.
See, I'm imagining like young Spike Lee, like from Do the Right Thing.
No,
like,
dude, it's like
no,
it's
this is
like
him now.
It's like mid-50s Spike Lee. He looks like this the entire time. Like I forget who the other player was with him, like introducing him and shit. And just they're like, I'm here with acclaimed director Spike Lee. And it just cuts to him like this. It's like
it's the worst.
It's like the most Spike Lee face. Oh my god, he should have been wearing his Miss Frizzle outfit from fucking the Oscars.
From the Oscars.
Oh my
Dude,
god,
Old Boy, a Spike Lee.
Oh my god. Okay, I gotta bring this up before we get into the main topics. I gotta tell you about something. It kind of ties in. Yesterday, as I told you, was my last film art class for the year.
Wow, you finished first year.
Wow.
Wow.
Basically, we went through an exam review, talked about the course overall. We did some like evaluations of our professors and our TAs and everything, and then they said, my professor said, we're gonna showcase some work that students have done this year. So, everyone was showing some shorts that they'd shot for the program this year. And then at one point, he just said, I didn't send anything in because I hadn't finished the short I'm shooting now.
Yeah.
Right.
So I said, I'm not gonna send anything in. I don't really care. Whatever. It'd be great to show stuff. Whatever. Until at one point he says, you know what? If you want to come up and just like pull something up you've done in the past, then throw it up. So 2 things of note happened. One, my boy Dylan, whom I
oh no,
again.
my boy
again.
Who?
Bro, he's fucking frozen.
I'm so sorry.
This is how it sounded for us. My boy.
Oh no,
Yeah.
dude! You know why,
Just like
dude?
a
It's
farting
because
noise and that's
it's
it.
because my friend Dylan is just so like epic and so amazing. I love him to death. Great guy.
I feel like when I'm editing this, every time you freeze, I should just freeze your webcam and like your audio.
No, dude, that's
Right when it freezes.
and then we're just gonna put Ryan's feed froze. Like what did we write last week for when your camera died?
Oh yeah, it didn't even like die. It just like froze for a second, and I'm like, And then
Kristoffer,
normal?
it wasn't a second. It was like a solid 15
It
minutes.
was it was like a good 7 minutes.
No, just like
I was literally like,
dude, every week I try to post like the best moments of the podcast and shit. I didn't last week, ironically, because the video file messed up whenever I uploaded it. Like the audio would cut after 5 seconds. It was weird.
that's very sad.
But originally I was gonna do our Avatar discussion, and I didn't do it because your webcam was frozen half the time.
Oh.
And I was like, it just looks really weird if there's just like a static picture of you. Anyway, I showed Can I Have This Dance, which was what we shot. We shot in September of 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Great short. Everyone involved did a great job, and everyone in the class loved it. So that's really great. That was a very humbling experience.
That's
Dylan,
Mm-hmm.
love him to death. He did something called Unfunny Compilation number 4.
Oh god, is it like feminist wrecked type shit?
No,
Yeah.
dude, this legend of humanity basically did like a parody cringe compilation, but of like memes and inside jokes from the fucking film art class.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So he like memed out, if our professor said something stupid, he memed the shit out of it.
That's pretty good.
And dude, we were all in fucking tears, dude. And then like he was making fun of like the Oscars. So like, you know, like the clip of when the guy who directed it's my favorite clip, dude. He like wraps his legs around him. It's like it's like a fucking romance movie. Still a better love story than Twilight. That's an old meme.
Yeah.
But it was so good. He would take clips of like the Oscars from when Moonlight won and La La Land didn't. He dubbed in like, guys, we didn't win. La La Land didn't win. The winner is, and all of a sudden you just hear Venom, and I like I died. He like.
What's the context of that Venom quote though?
It's because I think it's partially to do with me. Every week during our tutorial, for those of you who are not in university or college, we have tutorials after lectures, which is basically just you sit down and you fucking talk. I believe in the past they were called seminars.
Wow.
They are no longer called seminars. Basically, my TA, shout out to Marco, good guy.
Shout out to you, Marco.
He every week he opens by saying, what movies did you watch over the last week? And I think it's because Dylan and I both saw Venom, and we were basically like griefing the movie for like 20 minutes with the class. And like talking about like how much we didn't like Venom. Then one guy was like, well, I thought Venom wasn't that bad, and we were both like, sit the fuck down. It's like it was really.
What the fuck did you just say?
Then the best shit was he played a clip of Woody Harrelson from True Detective, like having a meltdown, being like, fuck no, and it was when they announced the winner of Best Picture is Green Book, and he was like, fuck, and he was so, dude, it was really funny. He did some like, it was like some top tier memeing, and I just wanted to shout that out because that was legitimately funny, but also because I posted on my Instagram story that I showed off one of our GOOSHLEMS things, and people seem to really respond well to what we did, and I'm really excited that we're making a difference, man. So
making a difference.
That leads into our first topic, sort of like a subtopic, because I was thinking about this recently. Have any of you ever been recognized for something GOOSHLEMS related? Why are you laughing?
Fuck you! I know where you're fucking taking this.
Where am I taking this?
I don't like it, man. I don't like it. I can't talk about that on the podcast.
Yo, Ralph. I feel like Ryan doesn't even know what you're talking about.
What's happening? I legitimately don't.
No. I think you said in our group chat, but then like I feel like Ryan never read it, you know?
What happened?
You're trying to get me to fucking explain this shit. I don't want to explain this shit right now.
Ralph,
oh my god.
Were you recognized, Ralph?
Oh, my mom just texted me. Are you still awake? Yes, she can probably hear me. Yeah, I've been recognized, man, in the weirdest way possible through DMs on Instagram. And
oh, dude, that's my story too. I've told it to you
I
two,
don't like it.
but Chris, if you've been recognized at like
I
the
have.
movies, right?
I don't even. Where have I been recognized?
Didn't you say you were at like Cineplex once, and like the ticket taker or the guy at concession was like,
yeah.
"You did Pandora."
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that
yeah.
shit.
That was actually so funny. So like, I was at Cineplex. Who, if anyone here isn't Canadian, which I'm pretty sure everyone here is Canadian because obviously no one's gonna listen.
No man,
except their friends.
our boy Daniel Garcia isn't Canadian.
Oh yeah. Yo, what's up?
I hope he's watching, dude. I love that guy.
I know. So, what was I gonna say?
Oh no, his shit cut out.
Nick, Chris, your webcam froze again.
My webcam froze?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. I'm the only one left standing.
Oh shit, yo, my photo booth webcam froze too.
Oh really?
God, my mom's calling me. Sorry, I can't talk right now.
Yo, we're
The
all
like the fixed response.
This is great.
This is it's because I'm hosting, dude. the minute.
I'm gonna just like stop my recording and then like re-record my So it's just gonna be a picture of me.
This is a fucking disaster, dude.
This is great.
This is terrible.
Oh my god, what is am I still frozen? I am frozen.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, shit.
Now your feed's just gone. It's just like a picture
Oh
of
my
like.
god.
Yeah,
Hold on, I'm gonna screenshot it, and then we're gonna post it. We're gonna post
Bro,
it.
she just texted me, "Be quiet." Oh my god.
That's actually so
Oh my
funny.
god, this is.
Oh,
this
Chris,
is
you're
great.
back.
Oh, you're back. You're back.
back,
dude.
You're back.
All right. So anyway.
Wait. Let me start recording again.
Oh my god.
This is great. Okay. We good.
Chris,
we good.
now that your feed's back, you're at like fucking like 100p, dude. It's like, dude, I can count all 6 pixels.
It's great. It's 10 out of 10.
Else.
Okay, so to continue my story.
Oh yes. You're talking about Cineplex for our non-Canadian viewers.
Yeah. Cineplex is our Canadian mainstream theater. I was there seeing a movie. I forgot what movie it was, but I was with my good friend Jessica, and we see a man who recognizes me from Pandora, and he's like, "You made Pandora." I'm like, "Yeah," but the thing is, I feel like this doesn't count solely for the fact that this was a guy who went to my old high school, and he was a friend of Ethan's, so doesn't count.
Dude, I think I had the wildest one. Now, you know where I'm about the story.
No, I think
I'm
Ralph has the wildest one.
I can't speak about that on camera. I can't.
To be fair, from what I
can't.
understand, ours are both pretty similar.
Wait, me and you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So first year of university, I've been recognized twice.
Wow.
Damn.
So the first time was you know this story, but I'm gonna tell it because I love telling this shit. Last year we directed a play, Kristoffer, called Lock and Key.
Ooh.
Very successful play. We won awards for it. One of the things I think we've both agreed we're most proud of with our careers.
Yeah. We're the
great
future of theater, Ryan.
Sorry.
Not film.
Oh, I know, right? Can you imagine? Technically, we've won more accolades for theater than we have for film. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, basically, this play went to competition, and it's worth noting that several of the people we've discussed on this podcast were involved with that play. Mariel was involved with that play. Jess wasn't involved in that play. Thanks, Jess. Ironically, I think a lot of the people we've mentioned in the comments actually have places in these stories because Austin gets mentioned later. Anyway, we went to districts and regionals, I believe, with that play, right?
Yeah. So like with that competition, there's districts, which is the first level, which like entry level, where you go against a bunch of people, and then if you 3 plays from that move on to regionals, and then you compete against a bunch of other people, and then 3 plays from regionals move on to provincials, which is essentially like provincials you've basically already won, and you just perform it one last time, and it's like you get like
it's like the third act of your
Last
movie.
hurrah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we did really well with it. We're all really proud of the work we did on it. A lot of other schools were at that competition, obviously, including the host school. So a lot of people.
Dox them, Ryan.
I won't dox them. We were. No, I'm kidding. We basically, from what I understand, if people who went to the host school got special privileges, like certain extra privileges, I think a lot of them would work as stagehands as well.
Yeah. I mean, like, they got the privilege of knowing the stage.
Dude, honestly,
and knowing the equipment.
Dude, quick tangent. That was the most stressful thing.
Yeah.
Not knowing the stage or anything. Aside from the fact we almost had to forfeit because of snow, but you know, snow. Anyway, we were really proud of what we did. We went to this competition, met a lot of great people while we were there. However, Ralph, you okay, buddy?
I just know. Okay, I'll send you the screenshots later. But I was like, I'm being threatened right now. Be like, telling me to be more quiet. So yeah, it's okay. I'll be fine.
Anyway, so we went to this competition. Everything was great. Yeah. Fast forward to October, November. I started seeing this girl around campus, good-looking girl. And I was like, maybe I'll like, thank you for the Ralph. For those of you listening to the audio, as soon as I said good-looking girl, Ralph like tipped his glasses with like a Anyway, I was like, should I like hit her up? No, I won't. A few months, but I would keep like noticing her around campus, and she would like look at me, like not like intensely, but she would like look at me as if she recognized me from something.
Hey, do I know you?
You said that as a joke, but that sounds a lot like porn lines. Like, do I know you? Oh, you're just the pizza guy. And then he's like, sure am. They'll suck my fucking dick. And then that's a line from. You ever seen the Steve Irwin like Crocodile Hunter?
I thought you were like, that's a line from like my favorite.
No, it was like a meme where like, you know Steve Irwin, right? Like the Crocodile Hunter.
Yeah, of course.
There was like a porn video that got memed around a few years ago, of like this girl being like, "Are you really Steve Irwin, the Crocodile Hunter?" And this guy that looks fucking nothing like him, and with an American accent, puts on the worst Australian accent ever, and he just goes, "Crikey, sure am." And then there's a long pause, and he just goes, "Now suck my fucking dick." And it's the funniest shit I've ever seen. Anyway, we're getting really off topic. One day during Christmas, my phone goes like booking, and I'm like, oh, cool. I got a text. I wonder who it's from. And I looked, and it was from an account I had never fucking heard of. And I'm like, this is wild shit. Who's this? Right below it was a message, like a blank has sent you a message request. And I'm like, oh shit. So I look at it, and it just says, "Hey, this is really weird, but didn't you direct Lock and Key?" And I'm like, damn. I'm like, who is this individual? And I didn't know how to respond, so I think I left her on red for like an hour or something, because I was like, damn, how do you know this? Basically, she was part of the backstage crew, and she saw our play, and she was like, I thought it was really great. And I'm like, thank you.
What an honor.
All right, thank you,
I was
random.
about to ask what school they're from, but we can't.
We can't say.
Yeah, you can't. Dox
yeah,
them,
Ralph.
Never mind. Yeah, that's my
we
whole
can't dox them.
too.
Part 2. And then later in one of my film production classes, someone came up to me, and said, "Ryan, you're part of GOOSHLEMS, right?" And I was like, "Excuse me?"
Huh?
And I said, "I'm like, excuse? What do you mean I'm part of GOOSHLEMS?"
Have glasses on?
What were you gonna wear?
Shit.
Oh yeah, dude, Glasses Gang. That's what the episode. That's what this episode is gonna be called, Glasses Gang.
Glasses Gang.
So basically, and he says to me, "Yeah, I went to school with Austin," and that's when I remember that Austin changed schools in the middle of the year, right?
No,
Summer.
He changed it after 11th grade.
After 11th grade, he changed and went to
He just dipped.
He literally just dipped. But they knew each other. Austin, this guy, and his best friend, who were both in my class.
Yeah.
And two extremely talented individuals. And
Are you talking about Austin or the? Or
Sorry?
the two people, the two friends.
The two people
Austin is extremely talented.
Austin is also an extremely talented individual. So those were my recognized stories. Anyone in the comments, if you ever been recognized for GOOSHLEMS, please leave them in the comment below. We're aiming for 5 comments this week.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep trying to
+1 each time.
The last episode. Ralph, do you have any other recognized GOOSHLEMS stories?
I just don't want to speak on this anymore. Can we just move on to the next topic?
I mean,
next
like,
question,
okay,
please.
Next topic?
I told my PR not to talk about this either. Like, I don't know why you guys are mentioning this.
I've never been recognized for GOOSHLEMS stuff. I don't think I've ever been recognized for anything. Yeah, but sucks.
Hey man, you know what? It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time.
Yo, aren't you from that podcast?
One day, man. One day. Chris, let's talk about copyright for a second.
Ooh.
This happened a few weeks ago, I think right before we filmed the first episode. You're aware of what Hasbro is, right?
Yep.
Toy company. They own a lot of the shows they make toys for, they actually own. So they own Transformers, they own My Little Pony and shit. Now most importantly, they're...
Magic.
My Little Pony. Anyway, basically, they bought for I think close to $1 billion. They bought Power Rangers. From the company that owned Power Rangers. And they said they want to work on another movie, which I thought was interesting.
Like a sequel, or
I think I don't know. I think they made it sound like it's going to be a sequel.
Damn.
But you never know, man. Hopefully our boy RJ will be in it again, because RJ Tyler is a very, very talented individual.
Dante, Naomi, Scott.
Naomi Scott.
Bryan Cranston.
Oh yeah, Bryan Cranston, Bill Hader, Elizabeth Banks,
Ludi Lin.
Ludi Lin.
Ludi Lin.
Yeah, I have a mom, and she's the best.
It's the worst delivery. I remember us watching that. Just the way he goes from 10 to 1 is so. She's the best, but she's sick. He sounds like one of those those stereotypical slam poets. Someone's playing the bongos. It's like doom 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 doom. I have a mom. She's the best, but she's sick. Donate.
You have a very slam poet beanie on too.
You have to have if your glasses were actual glasses instead of sunglasses, you would have been a great slam poet.
Thank you.
I don't even know if that's a term.
Anyway,
I can see my reflection in your sunglasses, and it's great.
Anyway,
oh yeah.
So, I don't know if you know this. I'm more of the Power Ranger dude out of us. Okay, I don't know why I'm saying more of. I am the Power Ranger dude out of us.
You are just
I am.
cemented.
Power Rangers.
I love Power Rangers, and if you don't use a motherfucking hater.
Damn.
Anyway, Power Rangers actually has a very large adult fan community, specifically of people that grew up with the shows when they were younger.
Mm-hmm.
My boy Eric, who I talk about all the time, Eric Berry, great guy. He has a podcast that is extremely successful to the point where I think he's gotten endorsements from the official brand and everything.
Pretty sick.
So
congrats.
A big issue arose recently. The new season started a few months ago. And basically what happened was people were doing reviews and stuff of it. Mm-hmm. Especially because it was the first big, it was the first time Power Rangers was relevant for a long time, because it was a big deal that they were sold to Hasbro, because Hasbro has a tendency to revitalize dying things. Mm-hmm. Basically, what happened though is like clockwork, those reviews all started disappearing. So basically what happened is Hasbro has been exercising their copyright and have been striking down everything, even if it had the most remote resemblance to their property. People were posting dead ass dude blurred images, and they were getting taken down.
Damn.
Oh my god.
So I just wanted to ask you guys about the current state of the YouTube copyright the YouTube algorithm in general. We've touched on this last week. And kind of just like the state of copyright in general, because we've been affected by copyright before. I just want to know what you all were thinking about that.
Okay. The only thing I've been like affected about in copyright is my God James videos.
Wait, what's that, Ralph? What's that?
Oh, what?
Ralph, can you explain?
What's God James?
What?
Was that Chris? Are you putting a clip of a God
Okay,
James
so
video
I
on this
privated all
right
my
now?
videos anyway, so like it doesn't matter anymore. But I used to make like.
That was a great clicking sound, Ralph.
That was
Thank you.
a very like.
Yeah, but I used to make like mixes of my favorite NBA players and put them on YouTube. And I used popular rap songs.
Under the alias
in the background.
God James.
Yep, because LeBron's a god. And yeah, I always like, I wouldn't be able to make money off of them because of the song.
What was like the extent of the copyright though? Like, was it just like a, hey, you can't make money off of this, or were like people like threatening to take the video down?
Well, some of them were like straight up blocked in like certain countries.
Was
like,
it because
that
of
type
music?
Shit. Yeah, like strictly because of music, and then
I
sometimes
feel like,
because of NBA clips too.
I feel like in that sense that's fair because you're just straight up using the song,
Mm-hmm.
and like even though you're putting it over your own edit, like you're using the song to enhance. Like you're kind of depending on the song for the edit. I feel like that makes sense, and like, so like, yeah, I don't think you should be able to make money off of that. No offense, Ralph. I'm sure your edits were great.
I've seen them. They are great.
Thank you guys.
They're 10 out of 10. They're pretty good.
They are pretty good.
Pretty
but
good.
I think the problem nowadays is that people are abusing the copyright system to a very large extent.
Especially like a lot of these things are fair use. Like reviews is fair use.
That's the most classic example. Like we watch like Ralph the Movie Maker and shit, right?
Yeah.
Ralph Seppi has dealt with that a lot. Adam from Your Movie Sucks also deals with that a lot. On a tangent, we were talking about this a few weeks ago. The funniest thing I've ever heard that man say was his like coming out story.
It's great. I love it.
Where he's like, I started looking at like pictures of furries, and I was turned on, and then I realized I was just looking at the furries' dicks. And that's how I realized I was gay. And I'm like, it's like the funniest shit.
He's like, so I realized that I was a furry before I was gay, and I was like, yo, that's friggin' wild. Love that story.
Can you imagine like him like looking at like a picture of like a furry's dick, and he's just like, and then all of a sudden he's just like.
Had a total Ethan moment.
There's like a moment of decision. Holy shit. No, but like you hear all the time about people like who just use like still images of shit getting taken down for abusing copyright. Like I think that's kind of mad, but like how does copyright relate to like images specifically? Cuz you see all the time in like TV shows and stuff where like no one in like a high school in like a teen comedy wears any copyrighted images, obviously, right? It's always like or like when like I guess Nickelodeon shows are the most famous where they had like pear phones and shit.
Yeah,
right? And, like,
yeah. Love the pear pod.
Simpsons had like Maple instead of Apple. Like what would happen? Maybe like it's like a parody thing, but like if we were to like we've shown stuff before.
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna take us out. Is it because we're like small and no one gives a shit? Because is that not just free advertising? Like, if someone's drinking Coke in a movie, right?
Well, in that sense, I think how it works is, like, you can use, like, copyrighted materials in stuff. Like you can show them. Like, you can show a Coca-Cola. You can
As in, like, physical, like, tangible objects, you mean?
Yeah. But the thing is, what makes people not be able to show that is that it's essentially free advertising, and the reason why a lot of companies want to stray away from that, they don't want to advertise other companies, right?
Yeah.
And also, let's say you're sponsored, or like you have a brand deal with like Pepsi or some shit, right? And you have to show off the Pepsi thing. You don't want to also be showing off Coke.
Coke, right?
So like, in that sense, like I feel like that's how it works. So like, if you have a predetermined deal with someone,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like if you like don't like I guess the most classic case of that is like the first major use of product placement in a movie was E.T. if you haven't seen E.T., I'm gonna.
What was the product placement?
I'm gonna potentially spoiler an almost 40-year-old movie.
Dude, we've literally spoiled so many movies on this podcast.
Dude, that's true. Spider-Man dies at the end of Infinity War. Dude,
whoa, what?
Anyway,
I haven't watched it yet, man.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Dude, Captain Marvel is in Captain Marvel.
Fuck.
Anyway, the way E.T. in the movie is sort of like almost like domesticated, like brought into the kid's house in the movie. Because it's kind of like a boy and his alien type movie, right?
Yeah.
The way he's brought into the movie is because he the kid Elliot lures him out with like Reese's Pieces.
Elliot Moose.
And he lays them out, and then E.T. comes and eats them, and he comes into the house and shit.
Yeah.
That was a big controversy because they originally went to M&M's. They were like M&M. Till I collapse. Anyway, they were. M&M was. Thank you, Ralph. Whoever owns M&M, I think it was Mars, owns M&M. They lost their shit. Like, we won't. You can't use it in our movie. Yeah, people are gonna be scared of it because it's an alien. And then when E.T. became the biggest movie ever.
Haha.
Something like the Reese's Pieces market share or something, or their profits went up 130% or some shit.
Ryan, you froze.
Did I really? I'm sorry. Do I have to say it? Basically,
say it again.
The viewers won't tell the difference.
Yeah. No.
Basically, for my co-hosts, their profits went up something like 150% or something.
Damn.
It was absolutely incredible, and after that, movies have been product placement has been such a huge thing. Shifting off of that, product placement. At one point, do you think product placement becomes too much? Like Man of Steel. I think product placement used in a very realistic way makes sense. Mm-hmm. Someone on Reddit posted a few years ago. They were people on Reddit were discussing the whole Man of Steel fight scene, right?
Wait, where it shows something. I forgot what it was.
It's IHOP. They show Sears,
they show,
and they linger on it for a while. I think the worst use. We were talking about Power Rangers before, man. The worst use, fucking product placement was Krispy Kreme.
Oh my god, that was so funny,
dude. That was legit. Oh, Ralph, were you with us when we watched
Ralph,
that?
we're gonna watch it together.
I don't think.
No, we're gonna. Don't spoil it for Ralph. We're gonna watch it together. Someday.
So bad. There's some bad product placement in that movie. Anyway. The Man of Steel fight scene is bad, right? At one point, do you think it becomes invasive versus not being invasive? Because someone on... Sorry, you go ahead.
Power Rangers one is...
Okay, yeah.
Is invasive because it was actually relevant...
To the plot? The product placement?
And I don't like that.
I don't like it
there
either.
wasn't a valid reason for that to be relevant to the plot.
It's not like in the movie General Zod was Superman, meet me at the IHOP.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
It wasn't like that. But then someone on Reddit posted, I'm way more likely to notice a knockoff product in a movie than to notice when it's not it's an obvious product placement. People all the time don't use Google in movies. They use Spackle search or something.
Right.
Or they don't use YouTube. They use some
they
other.
Use UVids.
Oh my god! Have you watched Wreck-It Ralph 2?
No.
I'm about to spoil it. They literally have Google and YouTube as one of the buildings and stuff, right?
Isn't that a major plot point? No. Isn't eBay is a major plot point, isn't it?
eBay is a major plot point, but they don't use YouTube for its intended use. They go to a video posting website that's called BuzzTube.
Oh god. It's
then what is YouTube in that universe then? I don't understand.
I don't know. I don't understand. You already established. You can see YouTube.
Yeah, that's weird.
Then why? I don't understand why you couldn't just use YouTube. Probably because they had to do some bullshit stuff for the story, which I didn't really like. Basically, I'm gonna spoil Wreck-It Ralph 2. Sorry guys. They went oh, look at these hearts. Every heart you get equals $1 in real life. You have to get and Ralph had to get a bunch of money, so he started making a bunch of viral videos to get a bunch of money and all these hearts.
I don't know.
And obviously every like on YouTube doesn't equal $1, so maybe it's because of that. But even then, I feel like.
But isn't that more that's more like Twitch though? Because Twitch has the likes
donations
cost money
and stuff.
right?
Oh yeah, or like you donate and shit.
So did Ralph become like one of those Twitch girls who just has like his like did Ralph just have his like boobs hanging out the entire time?
No, he like became like he became like an internet meme essentially.
Okay,
And
that
then, like,
sounds
in like the real world, obviously, because Ralph is a video game character. They were literally like, people are using an old video game character to like to in all these viral videos, and I'm like, I don't understand how this makes sense, but
it sounds like we were talking about this last week with the Emoji Movie. Do you think Wreck-It Ralph 2 specifically is a bunch of old white men trying to understand internet culture?
I feel like not a bunch of old.
Who are the writers first and foremost?
Old white men. I feel like
They're like 35-year-old white men,
like slightly younger white men. You know, because it was better. Like I pulled it off better than the Emoji Movie, but like it's still, I don't know, man. I just wish Wreck-It Ralph 2 wasn't in the internet. You know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think everyone trying to like do like internet stories now is just trying to like cash in.
I feel like they just aren't doing it right.
They aren't.
I feel like there's really good internet. There could be really good internet stories out there, but like,
I haven't seen it. But you said Searching was pretty good, right? Like
Searching's really really good.
Like
and that's a perfect example. That's like the whatchamacallit.
That's the John Cho movie, right?
Yeah, it's a John Cho movie. That's friggin' Unfriended, but done well.
Can I like make a really off topic?
Yeah.
Can I make an off topic comment for a second? Yeah. It bothers me and it keeps me up at night that John Cho is 48 years old. That motherfucker has looked like he's 30 for the past 20 years. That is like the definition of age. Because I remember watching the trailer for this movie, and I'm like, John Cho's 30. Why does he have like a 16-year-old daughter in this movie? And then I looked him up. Man's like almost 50.
Damn.
And I'm like,
jeez.
I mean, he looks like a dad though.
He's starting to look like a dad.
Yeah.
Because as at the end of the day, I always see him as like Harold and Kumar. And when he did that, he was
Harold
like,
and Kumar. That was some good shit for diversity.
Right, dude. It
all
was,
movies,
dude. It was representation for people of color, Neil Patrick Harris, and White Castle.
Oh yeah, that's another I guess product placement thing, wouldn't it be then?
It's in the title of the movie. So
yeah, but I feel like because like the entire plot kind of like
it's just fucking White Castle.
That's the whole point of the movie.
I felt like that was the point of the movie for stuff like where like Power Rangers, which you haven't watched, Ralph. Like
Ralph, we're not going to spoil it, but just know it's probably the worst use of product placement.
You can
in a very
probably
long
guess
time.
what it is already, but like
do you care if we tell you, or do you want to like?
No. I want.
I'm gonna Google it after we're
No,
done.
Ralph. No, Ralph.
You can't.
You can't Google it. We're gonna watch
Google
it
right
together.
now.
We're gonna record your reaction. That's what we're gonna do.
How many times have we said we're gonna do this? We're gonna do that for 8th grade
no,
too, right?
once we all
Yeah,
get
I need to
back
watch 8th
together.
grade
Once
still.
we all get back together.
Okay.
We have to do this.
Okay.
But like the thing I was getting at earlier is I think product placement in movies is becoming like a thing where it gets like hated almost because of like I think people are just like, oh, it's like turning like film into like a corporate thing. But if instead of like if Superman wasn't fighting next to a Sears and instead of was fighting in like the International House of Couches, you'd be like, what the fuck is an International House? Like, right?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
The Founder is a great example. I don't know if you know this. Founder was the Michael Keaton movie about.
I saw clips from that.
Like the McDonald's movie, right?
Yeah.
No rights. McDonald's gave no permission to use anything in that movie, and they had like just a really good team of lawyers that argued fair use, because it was a publicly available story.
Technically, it is fair use.
So, but the thing where it started getting sketchy was, it conflicts with McDonald's official story.
So
you go on
like,
like,
what the fuck?
If you go on their Website, it's just like Ray Kroc. Was that his name? I think so.
Who?
Yeah. Ray Kroc. It was basically just like Ray Kroc did not fuck over the McDonald brothers one bit, and he's a great dude. When in real life, it's very well documented that he literally fucked over the McDonald brothers in such a huge way that he screwed them out of all properties and royalties, and they basically had no money related to McDonald's. Literally one of the biggest companies in the world.
Rip.
So basically, McDonald's doesn't like advertising that their president for 60 years fucked over the people that founded the company. in such a huge way. And like it came to the point where like I think they like they signed away their rights to even start up another business.
Jeez.
So like they couldn't even start another like
well, at least it's named after them.
Right? It's
They
like
have
it's
that.
literally their name. It's such a
their
fucked up
name,
thing.
but they can't even fucking participate in their own thing that they founded.
This is fucking capitalism.
Imagine if we got screwed out of GOOSHLEMS.
By who? Who would fuck us over?
It's gonna be
We
fucking...
just gotta think about the
Disney.
snakes in the grass right now.
Disney's gonna buy us.
Jess is gonna buy us. GOOSHLEMS presents Jess's radio show. No, let's be honest. It's gonna be Ethan.
Oh yeah.
Ethan's gonna buy. Remember that like joke we made that like if something was to happen to me and Chris, Ralph would assume all rights to GOOSHLEMS and it would just become like a sports commentary channel or some shit.
Hey,
It's gonna be like Ralph edit number 4.
Our entire channel is gonna revert to Legod.
Legod James.
yeah. It's just I still can't make money off of it.
It's... Oh my god.
Well, speaking about like copyright and like the YouTube shit, well, like sometimes we use like a bunch of our old stuff at least used a bunch of like copyright music because we were like, haha, we're not gonna make money off of it anyways, and also YouTube was a lot more lenient back when we were
Remember 2015? Before that was before the bot was in place, right? Like the automatic detection.
it wasn't always
I mean,
in
like, that
place, but,
was before it got like bad though.
yeah, it got bad in like 2015, but
Because
like,
I think I don't want to interrupt you, but I think going back, it started because I don't know if you remember this or if you knew why. It's because ISIS started putting videos up of like their execution videos.
oh jeez.
And that's where it started happening.
Yeah.
Because basically, as soon as that happened, they were just like, we can't. That was when like all the ad. That was it the adpocalypse where everyone started pulling out, like Coke specifically started pulling its ads. That was when they really hunkered down. That was like late 2015, early to mid 2016. And that was when it started getting really bad, and people started to like lose money. Like big people started losing money. And that's why so many people were like. That was when Patreon started getting big. Because people needed a way to supplement their income.
It's also why a bunch of YouTubers have to do sponsored videos, because
I have no problem with sponsored videos.
Yeah, I have no problem with them either. But I'm just saying, like, a lot of people complain about, like, they're like, "Oh, you're fucking selling out," but like, they literally have to do that. They literally have to do that because they can't survive off of the AdSense anymore.
To be fair, though, AdSense, like way back in the day, AdSense was like a pretty lucrative thing. And the reason AdSense used to be, like, you could live off of it was because AdSense was very picky with who they would let use it. It wasn't just, like, Jim down the street who could use
we
AdSense.
used to be able to use AdSense.
What was it? It was, like, once we hit, like, $130 or something we could pay out?
Yeah, so, I don't know. So, basically...
Tell the story, please.
Ralph and I started YouTube in
Excuse me.
2012. Well, we started our channel in 2012, and we started posting videos in 2013, which, by the way, one of our first videos has copyrighted music. Things you don't see or hear every day has a straight
Things
up
you don't see or hear
California
every day.
Oh yeah,
Oh, God.
I mean that's not copyrighted. We should copyright that.
We're not even gonna copyright GOOSHLEMS. We're just gonna copyright the fucking
old
garage
theme
band.
song. But back then we could actually sign up for AdSense to get money off of I choked to get money off of our YouTube videos. And me being like 13, I was like, whoa, you can do this?
Wow.
Let's get this money.
Let's get this bread.
Dude,
Straight up.
Oswald is gonna propel you into like.
Yeah, that was the dream.
That was a dream. But
Rich off Oswald.
but so we signed up for AdSense, and we're like, okay, like whatever money we get, me and Ralph are gonna split. We straight up got like a couple cents. Oh, what the fuck? Hello?
Hello.
My Siri just got activated for some reason.
Oh, dude, Siri's interested, man. She
I
wants
think
to talk
Siri
about
thought
AdSense.
I said, "Hey Siri." Oh wait, shit. I said it
Don't
again.
say it.
Oh, dude, come on, bro. Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't play
Wait.
Chris like that, Siri.
I said the words.
The words, the Hey Siri words.
Yeah. You can't let her. Okay, but anyways, I just we got like a couple cents off of that. It's pretty great. And then over the years, I think we eventually built up to like maybe $1, $2. But I looked it up. I'm like, oh, like we can't get this money until we have like.
I think it was like $100.
It was like 100 something, 200 something. I have no idea.
Oh yeah,
I think it was 100
point.
because basically what happened was we made like a pact that like once we hit 100. At this point, I was like part of GOOSHLEMS when we realized that the money was. It was like a possibility. So
we were at
like
$2, $3. We were like
we were like
it's growing faster.
we had like $3 and we had like a party. No,
$1 for each of us.
Dude, we said that once we hit it, we were gonna split it the 100, 30, 30, 30, then give 10 to Brandon. Just like mail it to him in a fucking envelope. But like, and then the terrible news that you needed what, like 10,000 subscribers or something.
Yeah. So then couple like maybe last year, YouTube announced that they're changing their AdSense thing of who can participate in monetization in monetizing their videos, and you must now have over 1,000 subscribers, I think, and we are at 100 and
10,000 minutes of view time.
Oh yeah, which 10,000 minutes. That's
minutes.
Wait, so do the subscribers matter still, or is it just the view time?
it's a
both?
mixture. I think
It's both.
it's both, or it's
So
one or the other. I think I don't have no idea.
This is literally what happened. Like we read the thing and like instantly we were like, oh. As if we were like, oh, dude, in 30 years we were gonna pay out.
We'll never get our $3 that we earned.
It was
so
our hard.
rightfully
It
for
was
the
our
past,
hard.
like, how long has GOOSHLEMS existed? 2012, 7 years.
7 years.
We're never gonna get that money now, man. Thus, the bread was never got.
It was never baked.
It was never baked. The flour wasn't even like.
we bought the ingredients, but we never baked it into it.
the intention
It expired.
the intention to make bread was there, and it just never worked. We tried our best.
Yeah, it was very sad, but who knows? Who knows what'll happen? But yeah, 160. I mean, like, I feel like with this podcast we'll reach the minutes thing because
$6, dude.
Podcast
$6. I want to bring this up. This might be kind of a weird thing to bring up. The other day I tweeted. I think our Twitters are up here on the screen somewhere. But I tweeted something along the lines of, I have a topic I want to discuss on the show this week, and it's kind of an important topic to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw that.
I don't know if our viewers know, because Chris and I haven't mentioned it at all. The two of us are in film school. Currently. Ralph is also in film school.
Yep.
Director Ralph Ramos.
Oh god.
So keep an eye out for Relapse 2 coming out.
Yeah.
Weren't we talking earlier today about like how we were like, do you think people like saw that and actually thought we were doing like Relapse 2?
People
Pretty sure a
legitimately.
lot
Okay,
I'm pretty sure.
I'm
no one
calling
thought
you
it was
out,
April
Jess.
Fools.
I'm calling you out.
Oh no, that's right. You texted us about this.
Jess straight up thought Relapse 2 was a real thing, and I'm like, yo, that fake thumbnail is literally the fakest shit I've ever seen.
It was
Fake
literally
eyeliner,
made,
too.
dude. It was made to look as fake as I used like 2 cent MT bold, dude. That's like the giveaway for GOOSHLEMS videos. Anyway.
Was it doing the same font as Relapse? It made
That's because I didn't care, dude. I didn't give a shit. It was
like it made
it in 10 minutes.
no sense. Like why is my character suddenly? Why is Atticus suddenly like in the mountains?
It's because he's
Vancouver?
hiding from his problems, dude.
Yo, he moved on from the desert to the. Whoa, guys, I think we're pitching
biome
Relapse
change.
2 right now.
It's gonna be our bonus video for our Patreon supporters.
Oh my god.
So I don't know. Anyway, I want to talk about film school kids.
Yeah, Ralph.
Bas-
Ooh,
hold on
talk
a
shit about him. Oh my god. You're cheesing me right now, bro. What is this?
It's iced tea.
I don't know if I believe you. You told me that this morning, but I don't know.
It's iced tea. I promise.
If you
Ryan
yak
just
on the
pulled out
podcast.
Ryan just pulled out a whiskey bottle.
just took
fucking
a
downed it.
large gulp. Dude, I took a thick gulp of that shit, man. Anyway, I've been wanting to talk about this for a long time. We briefly mentioned it, like, outside of the podcast and stuff, and I think I've mentioned it on Twitter before. So the other day I tweeted, I'm going to bring up a topic next week on No One's Gonna Listen that I've been wanting to talk about since September, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
Immediately after, I actually posted a tease at what it was, which was, Dear fellow film school students, just because a film from mainstream Hollywood affected me in a positive/influential way doesn't mean I'm any less than you in your influential art house films. Sincerely, Ryan, don't scoff at me for saying I like Star Wars characters, Tocheri.
Damn, what happened?
You petty queen.
This happened a few months ago, and it's been getting worse ever since. For those of you who don't know, I am a big fan of The War in the Stars.
Whoa.
It's the reason I'm here, because I was like, I saw that shit and I went, I'm gonna make a movie too, and I took my action figures and my dad's camcorder, and I made a movie. I think that video is somewhere at home.
Hell yeah.
Basically though, my last screenwriting class, previous to this, I had started to notice that a lot of people who go to film school are very proud that they're in film school, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they have to try a lot to get there.
So we always joke about doxing me, even though I wear the fucking sweater of my school and shit. Mm-hmm. I go to York. This is in Toronto, third largest school and university, I think, according to the York subreddit. Anyway, it was almost like hammered into our heads. Now, I don't know how true this is. It's been hammered into our heads since like day one of being here that like this is the best film school in the country and like all this shit and stuff. And like I don't give a shit if this is the best film school in the country, because my whole thing, my philosophy is I don't give a shit if your film school is the best film school or the worst film school. I give a shit if what you make is good. Mm-hmm. Right?
Facts.
People I don't think people, again, I don't know if they're sort of like fluffing us up to like do good and shit, but right. The TAs and the profs and the heads of the departments really hammer home that this is the quote unquote best film school in the country. Anyway, even today I was told that this is the best in terms of film theory and like academics. So again, I don't know how true any of this is, but it ties into the story. Mm-hmm. I think people have started to use that as a way to like make themselves seem bigger and shit. Since Frosh, so for our younger viewers, Frosh is basically when the freshmen come and do non-alcoholic activities.
Yeah, non-alcoholic.
It's basically
stuff.
just like an icebreaker thing.
Yeah.
That you pay an outrageous amount of money for, and it's not really, for me, it wasn't worth it. Anyway, basically, I did Frosh mostly because I wanted to meet people in my program, and it's really exciting going to film school and shit because we growing up in the whitest town in the world. Everyone in our town, I'm literally doing my next like YouTube video on this. I used to get before
youtube.com/RyTalk12.
Before Chris came to our high school, because we mentioned before that you went to another high school and then you transferred over.
I switched. I wanted to join my boy Ralph.
I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I was like almost like bullied in grade 9 and 10 because I wanted to go to film school. People would make fun of me and shit, and like laugh at me because they were like, "This fucking guy wants to go to film school and shit." Well, because everyone at our school,
he has dreams.
Most people at our school though went to like into the sciences, right?
Yeah.
No offense, Ralph, but like
I'm in film school. What are you talking about?
That's right. But you know what I mean though. Like everyone at that school went to either like a business thing or like health and sciences, and then there was like me and you, who were like, basically,
Hey, we at least know some people who want to go into film school. By some, right. I mean one. Shout out to Marina.
Yeah, man. I think Marina's gonna do well. Anyway, we going into like the first week of school here, I was excited to meet new people and shit. And I met some absolutely incredible, absolutely wonderfully talented people here. Some of the most talented people I've ever worked with. Then there was the other people that I'm sure are extremely talented, but they are,
dicks.
I guess the best way to say it is they're super pretentious.
I mean, yeah.
And that's to be expected. But here's my thing. Ralph, you good, bud?
Yeah, I'm good. I just keep on hearing footsteps, and I keep on getting like afraid someone's gonna bust into my room.
it's
I'm
dear
sorry.
David, dude.
I'm gonna buzz in your room.
Busting nut.
You just you just hear like a voice that just goes, Ralph.
No, it's probably gonna be more aggressive than that. That's why I'm scared.
No, it's the ghost of your house. Though.
It's gonna be
Like-
Hoi. But all right, sorry.
Anyway,
Continue with your story.
the most vivid memory I had was someone said like, "Who do you think is the best director of all time?" Difficult question.
Wes Anderson.
There
I
are
don't know what
so-
the hell I'm talking about.
There
I
are
don't know.
so many. There are so many like options with that shit. You got like fucking Kubrick. You got your man.
Stanley.
You got your man like Howard Hawks. You got Christopher Bradley Cruz.
Got Ralph Ramos.
And of course Ralph Ramos, director of Relapse. Ralph Ramos.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, I think I said Kurosawa was I think is the greatest of all time and shit. This kid.
Taste.
So like if you were to say your favorite director was Kurosawa in our blindingly white hometown, everyone would be like, "Who's that? Business." Shit, right?
Math.
I thought going like here, I would be accepted for thinking that. This kid drops everything. Everything is just like, he's not though. He's like getting like flustered and shit. We're on a boat cruise in the middle of Lake Ontario, and this kid's gonna throw me over the boat because Stanley Kubrick wasn't the greatest fucking filmmaker of the last 100 years. So that was my first taste of this shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Starts getting worse once classes start. So the first class we had, the film art class, that I had the last class yesterday, I already mentioned. The first movie we watched was Black Panther. And the specific reason we did that was because they wanted us to he wanted to show us like a mainstream spectacle type movie, right? Lots of special effects.
Normie movie, man.
That's what fucking people did.
It's a normal movie.
Now, my buddies and I were like griefing it a little bit because we were just like, we're paying $50,000 to watch shit that's on Netflix. And that was like our running joke. And it became, I think I mentioned this to you, first 2 weeks of film school, every single class was talking about how Black Panther was the greatest piece of like fucking media in the last like 300 billion years.
That's gross.
And we were like, specifically it was all the white teachers that were saying that because I think they were afraid of.
Yeah, right.
They were like,
I'm not racist, so I'm gonna
literally
make
what
Black
it
Panther
was.
the focal point of my curriculum. Just so you know.
They were just like, look at the diversity and shit, and we're like, okay, we know, but
What diversity?
people were like, we were like memeing it out that Black Panther was what we watched. Other people were like legitimately offended. Like, it's like what you said earlier, like, this is a fucking normie movie.
Yeah. This
is-
isn't, I don't know. I can't even
If I can't watch this on a white bedsheet in an alley, is it even a movie? And specifically, there's a girl in my class who is one of the most pretentious people I've ever met in my entire life, who is like,
Out.
today she was saying in our class, I think we should have like more foreign movies, more this and this, and I'm like, okay, that's understandable. And then she starts going off like, and I keep thinking about how we watched Black Panther the first week, and like she's like legitimately offended, and I didn't understand because I don't know about like this may be like a really like fucking like hippie outlook, I guess. I think everything has the right to be considered art in some form, and just because it's shot on a Bolex like 16mm camera in 2019 doesn't mean it's art, right? I think if you have something to say and someone puts their like passion into it, that's what art is, right?
Literally, hella people enjoyed these kinds of fucking normie movies, and that like, I don't know why you have to complain about it, because like if you're complaining, it's not for you. Just shut the fuck up.
And what I started saying is, it gets worse when what my tweet was mentioning is a few months later. I was in my class with this girl who I know, extremely talented individual. I had a lot of respect for her. And she said something along the lines, because she was reading a screenplay I wrote for this class.
Yeah.
That I prefaced said it isn't very good, because the parameters of the lesson or the project were very strict. Mm-hmm. And basically I went a little too over, not like over my head. I kind of like went too big with the parameters, and I said it came out not as good as I wanted it to be. And I said if I rewrite it, it'll probably be like better, whatever. I fully admitted it. I value honesty, especially in our business.
Yeah.
Honesty is incredibly important. I think that's the best thing about the three of us. Our relationship is to the point where we can be honest with each other about our opinions on shit.
Yeah.
In order to better the final product. Like, if you want to go back to From Now On, man, Chris and I had some like good debates about filming From Now On and shit. But this girl, it's one of those things where she was like, "Oh no, it's great, it's awesome," but you can see in her face, she was like, "I want to fucking die." This is, and like just like her, like she's like reading it with like, and I'm like saying like, listen, I'm not like saying like, there are people that say my work isn't good because they want like sympathy. Mm-hmm. I was just legitimately saying I know it's not good. I just want to like get your like opinion on like its quality overall, so I can figure out like how to make it better.
Like, I want your criticism, but like you don't have to be like, you can criticize someone without being a dick.
Look, the example I always give of that is, my dad went to film school in the 80s. So whenever I write something, I always show it to him first to get like a pass on it. Mm-hmm. And my dad's able to be like fully open and transparent with me about what he thinks about it, because he understands if you aren't transparent with someone in this industry specifically, you're fucked, dude. Mm-hmm. Because that's how shit goes downhill. So this girl not being fully transparent with me was really like bothersome, because I was like that's, I understand we're in film school still, but they expect us to have a certain level of professionalism with what we do. Yeah. Like, even down to, like, the short I'm shooting, I have, like, 40 legal documents I have to fucking fill out.
Damn.
That I'm procrastinating. I'm considering just not sending the documents in. I'm gonna have a lawyer on my door. But then the thing that I was tweeting about was, she suddenly says to me, I forget how the topic switched to it, and she said, who's your favorite like film character of all time, whatever. And again, the thing the tweet was mentioning was, I said like, I think like Luke Skywalker from Star Wars is, and whenever I say that to someone, people hear that and they're just like, fucking nerd, normie, blah. And I always preface it, I always like explain my reason though. I always say like, he's a perfect like archetypal like hero. It's the hero's journey. I think he's sort of like the modern hero for like the 20th century and shit.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people I know were positively impacted by that character and his movies, myself included. Because like we all, like a lot of people I know grew up watching those movies.
Yeah.
Extensively. This girl had the most fucking flustered look on her face when I said that. And she went like,
what?
But like, no, it's not even like that. And the thing I said, don't scoff at me, this was her literal reaction. It was, oh, really? Oh. Like, almost like she was insulted and shit. And I'm like, I hope you never see my bedroom, dude, because there were like fucking pictures of Mark Hamill all over my walls, bro. Before I had my driver's license, I had like a trading card of Luke Skywalker where my ID goes.
Oh god.
Because I was a loser. But like, it became this thing of like, if something's affected you in some way, like, what the fuck is your deal, right? Like, going back to the Black Panther thing, we were given what movies we were supposed to watch for the classes, right? Mm-hmm. Or for the first week. So, that kid who got mad at me for liking Kurosawa, he said, like, oh, I watched Black Panther for the first time just last night, and I thought it was just okay. And I was just like, hey, man, I think Black Panther has, like, legitimate, like issues, but, like, this guy, his criticism wasn't based on the writing or the structure of the story or like anything, like any legitimate criticisms. He was just mad that it was like a mainstream movie.
movie.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
And
yeah,
people, I don't know what your experience is with this, especially Ralph, because Ralph's going to a very prestigious film school.
Get this all the time.
I don't know, Chris, with all seriousness, I don't know what your experience is at your school, but...
I'll be back, guys. I just need to get my charger. I'm sorry.
Okay, man.
Damn.
But, like, I don't...
I'll be back. I swear to God.
But, like, I don't know what your experience is with that. And it's really bothersome to me, because it's one thing to have a different opinion. It's one thing to, like, bring other people down and treat other people badly because of your different opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. I think if you go to this, like, regardless of how prestigious your institution is, I think you should treat everyone nicely. And I think you can't, like, let your own achievements overshadow your outlook on things, because that's how you become selfish, and that's how you get shot down eventually.
Yeah.
Is that all we have on that?
I don't like. Okay, it's like movies are made to entertain, man.
Right?
Movies, like, sole purpose is to entertain
1%.
people. It's an art form. It's a form of entertainment, and I feel like it can be an art. Like, it's an art form second, kind of. Like, or I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. The fuck. But, like.
No, I know what you mean. Like, who are they to dictate what we find entertaining?
Yeah, exactly. And, like, just because a lot of people like something, it's just the pure fact that a lot of people like something, that shows that it made a lot of people feel something, right?
We had...
It's also widely available, though. So...
Yeah, that's true. One of the people who brought up... Basically, the reason this came up in class today, the class I took today, was... it's the last tutorial or seminar, whatever.
Yeah.
And my TA said, I want you to be completely open with me. What can we do better next year? Because this is...
Oh, please tell me you called them out.
No. But someone said, like, I think you should show more, like, bad movies. And he was like...
Bad movies?
He was like, what do you mean? And he said, like, showing the best of cinema is one thing, but showing where it gets wrong and how you can almost, and why people still have a reaction to it in some way. The textbook example, even though it's a meme, is The Room. The Room is a legitimately horrible piece of cinema, but the fact that people had some sort of reaction to it proves it did something.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not a good movie. It fails as a movie. But the fact that people, like, saw that and had a emotional response to it proved it did something, right? So I thought that was an interesting point. But again, people in that classroom were just like, oh, what? And I'm just like, I don't understand it, right?
They didn't like that idea of watching bad movies?
Yeah. Because, like, people... What other movies did we watch this year? We watched Scream as like an example of... shit, I forget what it was. But then the interesting thing, and people were getting mad about this shit, and the way my professor showed every movie, even if it was like a mainstream movie, the most, like, normie movie possible,
Yeah.
he would put it through a lens that changed how I saw it. The best example of this, he did Get Out as a textbook case, as like a case study on cinematography and lighting. And instantly, I didn't think... I was like, cinematography?
Yeah.
Like, aside from, like, the sunken place shit...
There's nothing
striking.
exceptional. Yeah.
Until this motherfucker said to me, watch how the fucking color changes between acts. The first half of the movie is shot in very neutral tones. And everything is saturated after... he gets, like, kidnapped or whatever by the family, and it's like it's like colored differently.
Oh.
And I didn't fucking realize that till he pointed it out to me.
Damn.
And, like,
It's very subtle.
It's one of those things where, like, it's one thing to have, like, a good director do shit, but it's another thing to, like, point out stuff that you didn't notice before.
Yeah.
But, like, people were getting, like, fucking angry, dude. That they were like, this is a fucking normie movie, dude. It's the same thing with Black Panther. Like, listen, man, I'm gonna be completely honest. I think Black Panther has very legitimate, like criticisms with it.
Yeah, for sure. It
Like,
doesn't
there's-
deserve to be an Oscar
Right.
nominated movie, but
Like
it's,
it, like the writing in a few places is kind of weird. The effects are not good. I had like a whole discussion today about how I always say this to you. The biggest issue with Black Panther for me was that they shouldn't have had two villains.
yeah.
It should have either just been Claw or Killmonger, because the focus was super
That was
fucked.
confusing.
Because like it sets the movie up that Claw is gonna be the main villain, and I think at the end that's why I didn't like Black Panther as much, because like you start getting interested in this one villain and then there's a total shift.
Yeah.
It's just like a what the fuck type thing. Because if they were gonna make like, I still think Killmonger's introduction is one of the best character introductions in recent years. Like him in the museum is legitimately fucking incredible. Anyway, like if you frame Black Panther through the lens of not a mainstream action movie, but through the lens that it's like a spectacle. Like back in the 50s, we had like the epics, right? Like these big extravagant things. And this is just like the natural advancement of that, right?
Yeah.
People are literally lining up. The host of tonight's episode had a fucking meltdown on Twitter yesterday because people were buying all the #Endgame tickets.
Oh.
Because like people have like emotional reactions to these movies, and the fact that someone is like, people think it's okay to shoot down their other people's like opinions or what they like,
Yeah.
just because they think they're almost like higher than us because they watch like art house shit.
Yeah, it literally makes absolutely no sense.
Like, I remember when we took a film class last year, our teacher had like a tally vote of what movie we were going to watch in class.
Yeah.
And there were some legitimately great movies on that list. Like Seven Samurai was on there and shit. And we ended up watching Fame, the fucking remake.
Oh yeah.
One, not a good movie. Terrible movie. One of the most entertaining movies I've ever seen because it's so nonsensical and shit. Ralph, have you seen that movie?
I have not seen that movie.
I feel like we should get Ralph to watch that too.
How
'Cause
many movies you guys gonna get me to
Okay,
watch?
guys, just so you know, I want to start a new series on like GOOSHLEMS or
Ralph
something.
watches shit.
Just like of us watching and reacting to shit. Like we'll become one of those normie YouTubers.
Ugh.
A podcast is already normie shit. So.
Yeah.
That's true.
But like it's because we legitimately enjoy this, and this is entertaining, and this is like stuff that we enjoy. So like
We aren't doing this shit for like money or anything, dude.
Clearly.
We make nothing off this shit. We do this because we love doing this,
Yeah, exactly.
right? Like,
yeah, like even like these sketches and stuff that Ralph and I used to make, like even though they're like heavily influenced and honestly sometimes ripped off from like Ryan Higa and shit.
yeah.
Like we hella ripped them off.
Dude,
But-
Ryan Higa's like
No
sitting
way.
in his fucking mansion. It's like fucking kids. Like
but
you
like,
you
we didn't make that with the intent to make money. We made it because like we loved doing it. Like we just wanted to make these videos because like we looked up to Ryan Higa and shit, and we were like oh like
We could
that
do
shit
that.
looks fun. So like we wanna have fun too, and we were just kids and we're just messing around. It's great.
I don't know, man. Like, at the end of the day, for me, my life philosophy is don't be a dick.
Yeah.
And people here are acting like dicks because they think they're higher than us, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
And don't do that because I'm telling you, that's just gonna bite you in the ass in the future.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
What would you say the percentages of like those dicky people and people like you? Do you think it's like most of your program?
I don't think I would say most of it. There's a good chunk of people that are pretty.
Are they all just like pretentious hipsters? Like,
dude, honestly, some of them are pretentious hipsters. There's a
I
dude
feel
in
like
just A24 films.
I feel like at my
all day.
school, like there's less, like from what I'm hearing from you, like I haven't run into a bunch of pretentious people. I don't think I've run into anyone that's like super pretentious.
like again, there's an individual. I'm not gonna dox him.
Yeah, yeah. Don't dox anyone.
They his name's Jim James. He lives on
Jim
7-2. His name's Ralph Ramos. Lives on he goes to this school.
Yeah, I go to York.
There's this individual who her YouTube channel is
I.
like,
This is the one that you. Okay, yeah.
This individual thinks they're like some like next level like art filmmaker.
Oh.
They are not, dude. And it's not like, I don't want to like be like a criticizing guy, but you can't just film yourself half naked dancing and expect it to be like, right?
Hey man, it's whatever she enjoys and whatever she.
Hey,
True.
yeah,
But, like,
it's what she
you know what, but, like,
interprets as art.
But she's also like one of those
It means
individuals
something.
that like shoots people down.
Yeah,
Oh, she's one of those
that's not
people?
cool. That's not cool.
Cause like if you're doing that, saying that y'all are like low art, and then you go off and make basically shock videos and shit,
Yeah,
like
that's
For all I
like,
know-
yeah, that's like the shock art house films.
like I'm not, again, this is like just the whole basically the whole like thing we keep going back to on this podcast is we don't want to like judge people for what they do, but like I think there's almost like a double standard that if you talk about how like high art you are, and then you go and make something that not even the high art people like understand, if you make something with no purpose,
yeah,
then where's the platform you think you have?
yeah.
I don't know. It's very weird. Although at the end of the day, I'm hoping people sort of realize that they're doing this weird sort of,
Judging
because like
shit.
in the real life world, if you like go up to your boss and you're just like, I don't like the film we're making because I think it's too normie. You're gonna be like, fuck off, dude. Who's this guy, right? So I don't know. That's just what I want to tell that story because it the girl getting like scoffing at me really bugged me because I think it shows a whole like issue with the whole like film, not really industry, but like the whole construct as a whole,
Yeah,
that people
I mean,
think
like,
that
a bunch of my school is like way different than that because like there's a lot of people who have like vlog type stuff, and like
That's very normie.
yeah, exactly, and like you know like those travel type videos with like the super cool cinematography.
yeah.
Yeah, they have like those stuff on their channels, and then like I remember like the first day one of my classes, my prof was like, what's like the last movie that like had an impact on you, and a guy straight up said Superbad.
I think you mentioned this to us.
Yeah. So like
What a fucking normie.
people
Like right, like if
Citizen
I
Kane's mind.
like okay. To be fair though, have you seen Citizen Kane, Chris?
I haven't.
Dude,
Yo,
that's
I'm a fucking normie, okay?
You're a normie, dude. To be fair, like movies like Citizen Kane. Oh shit, we're running out of time, and I want to talk about that
Yeah,
too.
I was about to say.
Okay,
I think we've been going on for like a
we're going on
solid,
for a really long time.
like
hour and a
an
half.
hour, and I don't know, like
'Kay.
way more than an hour.
Close it off really quickly.
Yeah.
Talking about older movies. I'm a big Bond fan. Older James Bond movies are super fucking sexist.
Yeah.
And like super fucking like appropriating.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, if you watch it through the I enjoy those movies because I watch it through the lens that they are old movies that were products of their time and did fucked up things, right?
Yeah, because like it's how the society was back then.
Like The Big Sleep. We both watched The Big Sleep for school.
Yes,
and you
and I
took a big sleep.
I took a big fat sleep during the big sleep.
For those of our listeners who don't know, The Big Sleep is a film from early 40s. That is one of the most influential noir films of all time. I think it's a great movie. Extremely outdated. Like Humphrey
gaze.
Dude, Humphrey, that's like the quintessential. Actually, no, I would say James Bond's the most quintessential male gaze fucking series, dude. Like, there are characters in those movies that are literally wearing like nothing, and they're fighting like battle scenes and shit. And you're like, what the fuck? It's like, but older movies, because people were saying that like I think a lot of TV stations don't show the older like Bond movies anymore because they were like, well, it's like fucking sexist and shit. And the counter argument that came from that was, yeah, we know that, but censoring them is almost like saying those old mentalities didn't happen, or they never
it's like
existed.
Not accepting, or it's like it's not acknowledging the past.
Right. The best example of that is Looney Tunes, right? Like Bugs Bunny and shit.
Yeah.
They released box sets of all their old cartoons. A lot of those old
blackface shit or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a lot of those old cartoons had racist stereotypes and like
Right.
blackface and shit. And I think they released them still because they said like I don't think they remastered those episodes, but they said like we're releasing them because we want to acknowledge that we did fucked up shit in the past.
Aren't they making money off that fucked up shit?
Well, no,
in the
it's
present,
just
though?
well, that's the
Like,
thing though. I was gonna say
I don't understand.
It's not like they released those racist cartoons on their own like box set or something. It was just part of like here's all the cartoons from this like decade
Yeah.
that we did.
And then
It's not like they
there's,
released
there's,
like the blackface collection.
Our coveted blackface collection.
There's like
Revisit our racist
like
past
they have
for
like
20
oh
bucks.
classic Looney Tunes, and then there's like a couple of like there's like
Yeah.
a couple of like racist stuff.
Like they did like war cartoons.
Sprinkle it in there.
Okay, to be fair, I don't think they released like the racist cartoons they did. I think they released like Speedy Gonzalez and shit. That was just like stereotypes.
Yeah.
But still, like that type of shit. Like it's not like they did like please enjoy Blackface Volume 2 and shit, right?
Yeah.
So I think that like censoring older stuff isn't entirely necessary because I think everyone should be able to watch something and understand that it came from a different era.
Yeah.
Now, using that as a defense, like saying like someone like, "Oh, my grandfather said something racist, but he's from like a different era, so it's okay." It's not fucking okay. Right? Using that defense doesn't hold up in certain scenarios. I think in like this scenario it is because you should like understand that like the way the media would portray shit back then was different.
But also like they changed the thing. They can't change their old cartoons, but it's like if they're talking about like their grandparents now and how they're racist now, like their grandparents should have changed.
Right, that's exactly
along with the social climate.
There's a different thing with
Grandparents need to
acknowledging. There's a difference with acknowledging the past and using the past as a clutch, I guess.
Yeah,
is what we're trying
like
to say.
staying in the past. Like
Right.
for example, if Looney Tunes continued to be
Racist, but it was
Racist
just
and
like,
shit.
hey man, we
it's
started in
like-
the past, so it's okay.
yeah, it's like hey,
Right.
it was
right.
made back when it was racist. Okay, but like they shouldn't still be racist now.
Exactly. I don't know, man. That's some crazy shit. We have gone. Well, how long are we going for? We're at 1 hour and 34 minutes right now.
Holy shit! This is
I'm
the longest
exhausted.
podcast.
This is the
We're
longest
trying
podcast.
to shorten it, but you know, we're all good.
Every time we try to shorten it, it never works. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure as always.
I'm back to
um,
hosting next week.
That's right, you are back to host
Hey.
next week. To my co-host, it's a pleasure to talk to you boys as always.
Of course.
Always good to talk with you guys. From the rest of us at GOOSHLEMS, I'm WhiteBoy69. Follow us on Twitter. Comment on the video, we'll respond to you. Even if you DM the account on Instagram, we'll probably get back to you.
Yeah, honestly, just
Don't-
interact with us. Interact with the podcast in any way. We'll.
Help
Speaking
us.
about that, like, let's close it off with another tweet from Mariel, who tweeted ours.
Oh yes.
What did she tweet?
Let me pull it up. She said something similar to her comment on YouTube, but let me just
So interact
pull
with
it
the
up real quick.
podcast. Don't DM me though, please.
Don't DM Ralph.
I don't want to deal with that again.
If you recognize Ralph, don't say anything.
Yeah, just keep it to yourself.
Keep it
It's
to
okay.
yourself.
I'm trying to find it. Mariel, did you delete it? Oh yeah. Okay, wait, no. Here. She said, "Yay, I live for this."
And we live for you, Mariel.
Follow
live
her
for
up
you.
at Mariel.
Mariel _ pizza time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure as always.
It's been great. It's been great.
We'll be back. We'll be back same time next week. Same Goosh time, same Goosh channel.
I mean, like last week's episode was
Gooshing it up.
delayed, but like
That's
we're
true,
all
it was
good. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Alright.
Have a good night. We love you all.
Good night. It's like 12:30 right now.
It is
Morning.
12:30.
It's past my bedtime.
Good night. Good night, Ralph.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.